I bought Fortnite long before Battle Royale was even a thing. In fact, I pre-ordered Save the World. I was surprised to see the game eventually turn into a free-to-play Battle Royale game. Initially, I was annoyed that Save the World got dropped in favour of this, but once I started playing the mode, I couldn't stop. The game would evolve continuously into what it is today through the live service model. Black holes and rifts would tear the world apart and knock the game offline for days, causing mass hysteria. Collaborations with xenomorphs and Marvel would hit the item shop, and in-game concerts would fill up the servers to capacity. Epic always had something fresh for players to do, new experiences that kept players coming back and keeping the retention graph straight. But it don't last forever. All the modes, skins and POIs will disappear soon, preying on people who deal with FOMO. Fortnite is modern gaming in a nutshell. I stopped playing Fortnite shortly after Chapter 2 launched. I enjoyed the variety that the game brought in Season 1, but in Season 2 it became just too much for me. I didn't like the way the game was going from a gameplay standpoint. The map changed entirely, it was like an entirely different game. No longer could I drop at Happy Hamlet. It was gone forever, never to be played again. The same can be said for the time when I wasn't playing the game, because I didn't play during specific seasons. I missed Helicopters, a Travis Scott concert, and defeating Galactus with assistance from Iron Man whilst driving a flying bus. I will never be able to experience these things ever now, and at the time I thought I was missing out on so much. It was tempting to jump back into the game, but I knew the cycle would just continue. It was the fear of missing out that was so tempting. I did recently try the game again, and it wasn't bad. I would actually go as far as saying I was having a lot of fun. To be specific, I found the season with the Spider-Man glove insanely fun. I found the game to be extremely different than what I were used to. It wasn't stale, and even though 2 years had gone by without me playing, it didn't take me 5 games to get the hand of every mechanic and start winning again. The skill entry of Fortnite in general play is almost non-existent, meaning that everyone can have fun. It's not overwhelming, unlike when you try to get your friends into Destiny 2 or League. You don't need a tutorial or 4-hour recap to understand what to do, you can just jump in. Even when I wasn't playing the game, I'd log on just to take part in the end of season event. I just couldn't miss the Rock's face reveal. I realised what was happening here and I just had to stop. I was logging in for something I didn't really care about just because it was a one-time event and I wouldn't ever experience it again. I had no plans of playing the game the next day when the new season launched. I just wanted to be there. I didn't want to miss it. This is what we call FOMO. Better known as the fear of missing out is when you feel worried that other people are having fun or doing something cool without you, and then you want to be a part of it. Epic have mastered the art of utilising FOMO to maximise sales and keep the player base high. Everyone knows the psychology surrounding something that is advertised as limited. In one way or another, people will flock to it and potentially buy stuff just because it's limited. Take Black Friday in the early 2010s for example. People would flock to buy a TV just because it's cheap for a limited time. They don't want a TV, but they felt obligated to because the chance may not arise again. This is the approach Epic have with Fortnite, and many other live service games follow too. Battle Passes are probably the most notable example of this. Most games run 4 of them a year in the form of seasons, being replaced with a new one every 3 months. After the time's up, nothing in that Battle Pass will be available again, bar a few exceptions from your likes of Halo and Destiny. In Halo they don't expire, and in Destiny the items can be unlocked later on anyway through the exotic vault or vendors like Xur. Fortnite does battle passes in the most predatory way in my opinion, as they incorporate collaborations into them. Usually they have a blockbuster character at tier 100 like Darth Vader or Spider-Man, and a questline alongside the battle pass with another. If you don't level up to max tier by the end of the season, by either playing the game or paying your way there, you won't ever be able to use them. This leads to the game almost becoming a job to play, and removes the fun, because you want your money's worth, and you're scared of not getting the skins. It's a vicious cycle that repeats over and over until you finally stop caring. Luckily for me, it never really bothered me, as I realised that it's purely cosmetic, and that I would change skins eventually anyway. Some games have taken a page out of mobile games' book, and introduced daily login rewards and challenges. I know in Save the World you get V-Bucks if you log on for 7 days in a row. In the Battle Royale mode you can get hefty XP rewards by doing the daily and weekly challenges. Not doing these puts you at a severe disadvantage and could potentially cost you the max Battle Pass. So you didn't get that tier 100, but you got a ton of in-game currency out of it. You want to buy a new skin from the item shop, but which one do you buy? Better decide quick though, as the shop resets daily and you don't know when it will return. So you buy it anyway. Then tomorrow comes around and there's a new collaboration with DC and you want the new Batman skin. Epic have hustled you out of more money than you realise there by just applying a deadline to your financial decisions. It's not just Epic that do this. Websites and games do flash deals, and Steam sales have rinsed my bank account on a few occasions. But the way Epic do it is so slimy to me by making it daily. Players know this, but they can't stop. Live service has gamers in a vice grip. The FOMO they face causes them to not play any other game out of fear of not completing their what they feel like is a job. I'm not gonna lie to you, I quit Fortnite and I've been playing Destiny since it launched in 2014. I think Destiny is the gold standard of how a live service game should be handled, although it's still not perfect. Everything in the Battle Pass you can unlock without it in later seasons. The seasonal activities come back in playlists, and none of your content gets sunset anymore, meaning any dungeons or raids won't disappear with time. Now that you know what shady things these companies do to claim your time and money, what can you do to fight against it, you may ask? And the only advice I can give you is what I'm sure has already been said time and time before, is just understand how the tactics work. You don't have to feel like it's a job. The moment you realise that it ultimately doesn't matter, what you miss out on is the moment that you'll free yourself from FOMO. Just play what you think is fun, and if you don't get 200, who cares, the skin will just probably sit in your locker anyway. If you enjoyed a video game addict lecturing you on predatory practices that take place in games, then feel free to sub, because seeing graphs go down actually gives me fear, and terrifies me. So yeah, just do us a favour and sub please.